crispy.
All right, guys, we are back in the lab. Big day. I know I say that every time Minimates come in, but this wave that just showed up today, dropped in comic shops on Wednesday, is probably a bigger deal than anything. This is like it's this the X Factor mates are some of my longest wanted, probably the longest wanted figures I've wanted since I started collecting these. So, and it's been like 10, 12 years since I started collecting, but I've wanted 90s X Factor for a very long time. And yeah, there is even like a couple of years where it's like, well, it's never going to happen. Just isn't going to happen. It's not possible. So when these finally got announced, it was kind of almost, floored me that holy crap, we're actually getting them. So the 90s X-Men is my era. I started collecting roughly around second series, probably about a year into the second series, around 290 to 295 for my earliest X-Men books I collected. And that's when I first started. And I collected X Factor and X Force and all the stuff, all the Wolverine books and stuff. So we already have all the 90s X-Men. We X Force, we have everybody but Sunspot and Warpath. A lot of people tell you of Warpath. We don't have the right to Warpath. A lot of people say Thunderbird can stand in for Warpath. That's Thunderbird. It's not Warpath. So I personally would like a little bit taller than normal, a little bit more bulked up Warpath with the correct mask and eyes and everything on him. But other than that, all we had left was X Factor, and today finally they showed up. And the whole situation, though, the way they packed them, if you're a big, you can't just get 90s X Factor and then the original X Factor. They're all split up. It doesn't bother me one bit personally, but I can see if some people just wanted the 90s X Factor, you're not gonna get them. Strong Guy is the build a figure. You can see his arms there in this package. But yeah, so yeah, it's just a big day. And the other X Factor that come with it, let's flip this package over, I'll show you. So this X Factor, the 80s, I guess you could call it, original X Factor. That Archangel, you can't you can't find them for like less than $30, I think, before this came out. And then that Beast is the other Beast. I think I might like this one better. You could easily make him a 90s Beast by just swapping out his hip piece with the 90s Beast. But I do think this one I do like better. We'll see when we open it up. We'll talk about it more then. But and then you had Cyclops. And my Cyclops is that Cyclops when it comes to X Factor. I had the action figure, the very first Toy Biz one with barely any articulation, his visor lit up. But that was my first Cyclops I played with for years. So this kind of hits pretty cool, pretty hits the nostalgia button big time. And then that X Factor Jean, I've read more X Factor, more comics with her in that costume than the other one, the original one. I think the original one is the green one, not this one. This one is an Executioner's, or not Executioner's Song Extinction Agenda, so that is later towards the end of their run. Anyways, now that I've rambled on enough, let's look at who we have here. We got Polaris and we got Jean. They both look great. Polaris's hairpiece, I don't know if that's a new one, but man, they really nailed it with that hairpiece. I think it's new, but who knows? Yeah. Let's just take them out of the package. Yeah, so nice mates, just perfect mates. They look exactly like they're supposed to, exactly like the 90s Polaris. I like that costume, that Jean Grey costume. That's the one that I've always liked. So, and then we get a couple accessories with Polaris. Nothing for Jean. I don't think we need much for her. It'd be nice to get a Jean Grey with some like pink globs or whatever like she always has in the comics, but we haven't seen anything like that yet. But that would be a fun accessory if Diamond Select were to ever make one. But let's take them out of the tray. Yeah, two very nice looking Minimates. Those accessories for Polaris, I'm really digging them. They go right on her wrists to where it's, you don't have to worry about dropping them all the time because sometimes the hands loosen up after a lot of use. you know, and they look cool, you know, very original, very, we haven't seen those yet. I think Havoc comes with them too, and I bet they'll look great with him. So looking forward to that. Again, that hairpiece on Polaris just looking fantastic. Very nicely molded, very exactly like her character would be from that era. You can kind of see on the cuffs on Polaris, on her boots. One's a little bit lower than the other. Those aren't like glued in place. They slide up and down, actually, trying to get her figure all posed up and everything. They just kind of went up and down. I'll probably have to glue them into place. But still, great looking character. I'm very happy that we have Polaris finally. I can't wait to open the others. And then again, this Jean Grey too. We'll do a shot with her, one of the ones I remember the most later on. But first we have Polaris set up in back, and let's take a look at that. So here's our first shot. Yeah, fun stuff. We got Polaris recruiting Ron to the X Factor team. It's probably been a good 10 years since I read that run, but I'm pretty sure it happened right after Executioner's Song, and they kind of adopted her. I think that actually happened to, or not Executioner's Song, Extinction Agenda. Pretty sure at the end of Extinction Agenda, Havoc decides to take Ron and have her join the X Factor team. So yeah, this is just a callback to that. She's kind of wearing something close to her suit from Genosha. I can't remember what those guys were called, the slaves or whatever, but they had these weird suits, but they had numbers on them. This one's kind of close to her costume. It's close as I could get it. Just to kit bash something. If there's like a number 8 or something on it, it'd be way better. And actually, she's bald in that. She's bald in that by the beginning, by the end of Extinction Agenda, so she should have a bald head, but I just like putting her hair on more. I just love that mullet. Terrible haircut, but great hairpiece. And then we have, Polaris kind of welcoming her to the team, walking her around. This is a setup actually pretty close to what I used recently. You haven't seen it yet, but I'm doing a bunch of Pride of the X-Men shots. So this is basically the same background. I had a different shot. It shouldn't look too much the same as the other one. It didn't have a staircase in the back or anything. But yeah, it's basically this homemade like underground facility wall. And then back here we have a Gundam. Those are Gundam. I can't remember what they're called. They're Gundam something or other, Dios or something. And those are like $10 a piece, but that makes a good like hanger wall. We have the stairs just to add a little bit more to it. You can't see the jet in that picture, but I threw it back there because I thought you would be able to at first, but I just never put it back or anything. So yeah, this is basically it. Just get them nice and centered, like they're coming through the door, like they're just getting to X Factor headquarters. And Polaris is welcoming her to the team. So yeah, let's go on to another shot. So here's a classic scene. This is straight out of Extinction Agenda, and Wolverine's been depowered. He fought Archangel, and Archangel almost killed him. Gets thrown in prison. I'm pretty sure Cameron Hodge purposely puts Jean Grey in there because he knows those two are hot for each other, and he just wants to mess with them and stuff. And this scene is kind of like Wolverine. At first I was going to do just the scene where Wolverine's kind of dying. He has a grim face, and I was looking for a grim face, and I found the figure that goes for that scene, and it's a battle-damaged, shirtless Wolverine, and he's got a smirk on his face like a, total perv or whatever. And this scene has always bugged me. This kind of stuff with Wolverine, like he's my favorite hero of all time. I find him really relatable, and the one thing I don't like is he's like, there's this couple, they are the couple, and he's always there. Just messing with them, just hitting on her. And in that scene, he's dying, and he's just like, put out for me in this prison cell. I'm dying. This is the last chance. And he's Wolverine. He's probably been that close to death like a million times. So it's like, yeah, whatever. But it's always kind of bothered me about him. And when I grabbed that figure and he had that smirk on his face, I thought, why not just do that take on it? Like, this guy's a total creep hitting on him. And that's kind of what the scene is about. So anyways, he's all posed all sexy there, and she's sitting on the mattress of the prison bed. Just to give her a little bit of extra life, I popped her shoulder out, turned her hand, and put it in her lap. That's not something you usually see with Minimates. I've done it before, but not very often. I need to do it more, just because it kind of brings a whole new dynamic to posing these guys and stuff. So, yeah, I really like that. But so here's our final shot. I've been working on this one for probably like an hour now. Want to throw a lot of civilians into this one. I wanted to get the Sentinel in there. That Sentinel's a custom. I think a few more people have got them since the last time I used them. Really hard to come by. There's a customizer in the Philippines that makes them named Beano Boy. And yeah, I bought mine a few years ago. They are like the crown jewel of my collection. Best part of it, whatever, it's like they're very cool. They're very rare. There's probably like 10 of them, maybe 15 tops. But anyways, this McDonald's die I haven't used yet. I got that at something called Pioneer Days. It's just like it's like Renfest for farmers. It's pretty cool. They got farm and machinery from 100 years ago and all this other stuff, but they also have a flea market. But I came across this for $10 and figured I'd get some use out of it. And first time using it, I've had it for a little bit. Anyways, yeah, we just got Polaris. We have her taking down Sentinel. Crashing them into a semi. Threw a little polyester fuzz around there just for the look of smoke hitting it or whatever, of dust getting stirred up, whatever. And then yeah, got Polaris on a dowel stuck to her back with some wax. And then yeah, I got the setup, got everything cropped in there to where I'll have a pretty cool shot. With all these civilians kind of scattering in front of a McDonald's and the Sentinel getting taken down. So anyways, I think this is going to do it for this 2-pack review. Get on another one tomorrow right away. These are pretty exciting. I'm highly motivated to get in the lab with these. So, but anyways, hey, thanks for viewing. Hit that like and subscribe button. Check out the link in this description for all my Minimate pictures that are on Instagram, Facebook. Check out some of my other videos, whatever. Anyways, thanks for viewing, guys. We'll see you at the next video. Bye now.